Say hello to my guest, Omid Akhavan, here at LSI 2022. Omid, thanks for coming by the studio.
Thanks for having me.
So you're here at LSI, you've got a panel coming up, going to be talking about family office investing. Tell us more.
So, I'm a member of Family Office. Our family has been investing in healthcare over the last 5 years. We invest in healthcare because we believe in making change and bringing better health and better opportunities for people around the world. So we are mission driven, trying to humanize healthcare investing. And we're real people. We have dealt with disease in our family and as have other families. And so we are really mission driven to drive value for patients, for providers, for payers, and really align the incentives across the value chain in healthcare.
It seems like your background has prepared you well for investing in a family office. Tell us how you got to this family office. What other ways have you been an investor?
Sure. So my early career, I'm an engineer by training, biomedical engineer. So I'm a geek for the technology. I love it. And then started my early career in management consulting, worked across Fortune 500 companies, venture-backed startups, and then moved into industry. I was at Becton Dickinson in business development, looking for opportunities to find innovation and bring it into the corporate world and structure partnerships and make acquisitions. And then I moved into investing at MVM Partners, where we were focused on later stage investments, really growth stage medical device companies. And because I love the technology, I wanted to move a little bit earlier. So that's why I started investing out of our family office and with a syndicate of family offices and started Anthro Ventures.
You had an interesting insight about some of the bigger trends that you're seeing in healthcare. You had a perspective that says maybe we're following in some of those footprints of pharmaceuticals. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, so if you look at pharma over the last 20 years, there were a lot of mega mergers, a lot of consolidation in the industry, and as a result, they were trying to get efficiencies for Wall Street, show positive earnings for investors. So a lot of that early discovery work, got pulled out of large corporations, and that opened an opportunity and a window for venture capitalists to really step in and drive the biotech boom. And I think over the last 5 to 10 years, you've started to see the same trend in medtech. You've had these mega mergers, whether it's been Medtronic Covidien or BD CareFusion or Abbott St. Jude. And I think something similar is happening in the medtech industry, where there's this focus on driving efficiencies as a large company, and there's a lack of opportunity for innovation in a big corporate structure. And so this has opened way for investors like myself to help medtech companies, early stage, mid stage, late stage, really drive to a value inflection point and show and demonstrate the clinical value, the clinical utility for large strategics to step in to these unique areas of opportunity.
It sounds like you've got a great perspective on a lot of the different facets of the commercialization and that continuum. How do you convey that to a prospective entrepreneur that's raising capital? When's the right time to come talk to you?
So we're really focused at late stage clinical and early commercial opportunities. We like to invest when there's proof of concept. Both you've gotten safety out of the way. You've demonstrated some clinical efficacy. Maybe it's 5 patients, maybe it's 10 patients. And then we like to drive to the near-term value inflection points and really help get to a milestone where a strategic or a larger investor will come in and take it to the finish line.
So idea to product and shiny object, that's not really enough. You're not that guy.
I'm not that guy. But I'm always open. My door's always been open to looking at new ideas, because often it takes you a couple of years of tracking a company, watching the entrepreneurs and the management team perform and demonstrate value, and that the need that they're addressing is really there. And I think that is something that sometimes you miss, right? You have a great technology, it's exciting, you have grant funding, you have early angels that are excited, but understanding the product market fit, who is your real customer? Is it the hospital? Is it the doctor? Is it the insurance company? Is it the patient? And so trying to work through that and hash it out and really define the problem set you're solving, and then being able to position yourself as a company to attract capital, smart capital, and really drive to to getting the product to market.
So it sounds like even if it's not the right time in terms of their commercial pathway, it's still the right time to have a conversation with you,
Oh,
to get
absolutely.
on the radar. We're headed in this direction. I mean, have you had examples of that where you've had companies, they've come back, it's a 2 or 3 year, and then finally, oh, we know these guys well, diligence is going to be easier. Have you had entrepreneurs with that sort of
Absolutely.
relationship?
Actually, one of my portfolio companies, I first met with the CEO. There's an announcement. He had big exit on his first company, and I was introduced by a mutual friend. And so he was on his way to the FDA for a pre-sub meeting. We grabbed breakfast together. He starts talking to me about the technology that he's working on. He's showing me videos. I'm like, oh, this is very cool, very science fiction. Let me know when you're actually in humans. And so a year and a half later, he reached out. He said, "Look, we've done 7 patients. We've dosed 7 patients, and here are the results." And so we then started working towards doing a deal, and we closed the deal in 2020, and have been through the pandemic, and have been working to partner with strategics ever since.
So you're making it pretty clear that the family office, that's a different kind of capital. What are the other lessons that an entrepreneur should keep in mind as they're looking at, say, a family office and traditional investment? How should they think about approaching those investors?
So I think it's really important to understand the person sitting across from you, across from the table, and who you're pitching, what motivates them, what drives them. What are their biases? What are their interests? Has disease affected their lives or the lives of those close to them? And really contextualizing and understanding, the culture and context in which you are pitching your technology, your company, and finding the message that resonates. And that goes for a family office, it goes for a professional investor, it goes for business development or a head of a business unit. I think really understanding the context and culture in which medicine is practiced is important to being able to convey the value that you as an entrepreneur are bringing to the market.
Those are great insights for them to keep in mind. Anything else you can share with us today?
I would say, don't give up. I think, one of my personal mottos has been persistence beats resistance. And so, you may knock on a door, the door may not open. The next time you may knock, the door may open and it may shut, but keep trying. And always, I think after every meeting, asking, if it's not right for that investor, who would be another person they should talk to, or whether it's another entrepreneur or another investor or a strategic. And so I think being creative about networking and using the opportunity that even if you get a no from the other side of the table, being able to take advantage of that opportunity to learn and to grow and to find your path forward as an entrepreneur.
Yeah, one of the jokes that I used to tell people, and they would say, "Oh, I knocked on 50 no's, and then the 51st one," is that what they don't say is that if it was a really good VC, and it seems like you've got a right heart for this, you get to about slide 3. Oh, change this, change that. So what you did was you actually ideated your business plan 49 times.
Right.
You finally presented a business plan the 50th time. Of course, they said yes.
Of course. And I think it's a journey, right? Entrepreneurship is a journey, and it's a constant evolution, and really trying to take market feedback. And sometimes that market feedback is, oh, make this change or say it in a different way. Sometimes that market feedback might be, the problem you think you're solving isn't the right one. You should look over here, or you should repurpose the technology, or, in some cases, shut it down.
Well, thank you very much for coming by to visit with me.
Thank you so much.